Hello, this is Gavin Patterson from Studio 1790, and today I'm going to have a look at Cubase 12. So, for the last year or two, I've been running Cubase 10.5. So I've finally decided to upgrade. So I've totally missed out Cubase 11. So I'm going straight into Cubase 12. So I thought I'd do a video on just some new features that are not necessarily new to Cubase, but new to me. So I might be including some features from Cubase 11, but I'm just going to open up a session and see what's new to me. So yeah, I got this the other day and I finally got it working on my PC. So I've just opened up a session here, and so far it looks pretty much the same. It's a bit different. Like some of these, like the scroll slider looks slightly different. It just looks a little bit neater and, I don't know, more aesthetically pleasing. It doesn't make it sound better though. Yeah, it looks kind of the same, although I loaded in all my profiles, so all the colors are the same anyway, so that's just matched with my previous version. So there's a couple of features that I was quite excited for. So I'll start with the first one, and that's export. So yeah, this is totally different from what it was before. So I've heard that there's a new thing. Yeah, here, export queue. This is a totally new thing. So from what I understand, you can queue up different exports. So before, when I was doing an export, I would have to do one by one after the other constantly. So if I was doing like stem export, so exporting all the different stems, so I'll show you what I mean by that. So if I click here, drum master, I can click drum master and then add to queue. Yeah, so that's going to export just the drums. Then I can click bass, add to queue. Yep. Keep doing that. So technically, when I hit start queue, Cubase will export what I've put up in the queue. So instead of me, now that's just a simple thing. I could go in and go up to the effects channels here. I could go kick, snare bottom, hi-hats, toms, overheads, individually queue that all up, click go, and then just walk away and leave it to do all the exports for me. That's amazing. Because before I would have to like click kick drum and then click export and then sit and wait for 4 minutes or 3 minutes or however long it takes, then go back up and then go snare top. That's great. Yeah, I'm definitely going to make use of that. Anyway, I'm going to delete that. So that's pretty cool, which is a new thing. It's got multiple ones as well, so you can click on multiple boxes. The old one had that too, but it was always a bit funny trying to include my effects. It would never do it properly. So I believe that this will run through the whole effects chain, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that was the first thing that I was excited for. So there's another one that I've never used before, and apparently it can take like a guitar strumming chords and then tell you what the chords are from just. So we'll see. So apparently you go to add track, and then add. It's just hidden there almost. Chord track. Okay, and then I'm assuming you just drag that in. Just use this. Oh, it's doing it. Wow. So that's an acoustic, just acoustic DI. So is that right? D. Yep. A minor. Wow. G. D. That's insane. It's got a little D major on the bottom. I don't know what that means. There's a little mistake there. Oh, it's maybe because he did a little inversion, a little funny sussy part. Ah, okay, so it's picked up a little guitar change there. That's cool. So that means that's great. That I can make good use of that, because if I'm recording a band and the guitarist is playing away, I can just run that through a chord track, and it keeps me right when the artist is shouting, "Oh, just go from the E minor bit," and I'm like, "What's that? Where's that?" So I can. That's really cool. I can't believe I just did that immediately. Yeah, I've never really used Chord Track before, so that's insane. You just have to drag it in and it's done. I'll do another one. Simple. Yep. I don't know what the bottom stuff means. Or is that maybe the key it thinks it's in? I don't know. This is the first time I've seen this. This is, I'm not preparing. Oh, E Aeolian natural minor. So it's doing modes as well. That's funny. That's funny. Well, that's cool. I'm definitely going to use that. So there was another feature. I'm just going to remove that I had heard, and it was the MIDI remote mapping. So with this thing, apparently you can hook up a control surface like a keyboard, or if you have like a little digital mix console or something, and you can map buttons on it. I'm not sure how that works. So okay, so here's some ones. Oh, there's my keyboard. There's my Kronos. That's cool, right? So I don't have any of these synths. So these are synthesized or controllers. If you see here, that's like a representation of these different machines. Oh, that's really cool. So I'm assuming if you own one of these things, you can go in here and map each of these things in Cubase. You can map them to different things. So like plug-in parameters or faders or pan pots, or it's a way of Cubase talking to your device. And I heard as well, if I go on my Kronos has got some pots here. So my Chord Kronos is the keyboard under here, has lots of knobs and buttons and switches and stuff. And I heard you can customize, you can make your own map. If the Cubase version, it doesn't exist, say, maybe it doesn't know your keyboard, you can map it by yourself and actually build these blocks manually. So you can, make it look like this, so you can have the keys and everything, and sit and drag it in all these boxes to where they are physically on your keyboard, and then map each one of them. That's really cool. I don't think I'll have much use for that, because I don't really need an external controller because I have this. This is the Slate Raven touchscreen, so everything's touchscreen. I'm fingers on the touchscreen anyway, so I don't see. Maybe I'll use it for something, but that's a pretty cool thing. So yeah, up here, add surface. And then, yeah, you would have to connect it to something, but I don't have anything connected just now. Yeah, I don't see if that would, I don't think that would help me at all, to be honest. But yeah, that's pretty cool. If you have a drum pad or some sort of MIDI controller, you can actually map it to things. And the other thing I heard was Vari Audio got a little bit of an update. So just make this big. I use Vari Audio sparingly. So that's your auto-tune or your pitch correction. If I hit that, okay, this looks the same. It said it can do MIDI input. It said, oh, here we go, Scale Assistant. So this song is in D major. So show scale note guides. I don't know if that did anything. It highlights it for you on the keyboard up the side. That's cool, that's different. Yeah, that's the same. It's just a little bit more intuitive. Before it was really hard to tell which note you were on. So as soon as you click it, it shows you what note it is on the keyboard up here. And I'm a keyboard player, so that's really, really helpful. So the Scale Assistant, I think what it does is it tells you, if you don't know music theory, you know, you should, if it's in D major, you can assume that the notes that the singer is singing is in the key of D major, unless there's any accidentals. So I imagine this is like an assistant just, oh, you can use the chord track. Right, I don't have a chord track, but yeah, that thing I did earlier with the chords. You run the acoustic guitar through the chord track, it will tell you all the chords, and then that will tell Vari Audio what key you're in. That's crazy. So presumably, if there's a key change, it'll account for that. It's just scary what they can do now. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would use that. I'm pretty clued up on music theory anyway, so. But yeah, I can see how that's handy. And I think also they've got some new plugins included here. I saw there's a couple of compressors. I think this is new. Yeah, this is, never seen that before. It's another compressor, like we need another one. This, I've not actually tried it. I'll maybe try it on my favorite instrument, drums. Right, let's see. Okay, Squasher. Razor, that's new as well. What's that? Oh. That's cool. Let's try the Squasher. It's very similar to another one I have actually, the MOTT. This one, it looks the same as well. That one. It's very similar. This is by Slate Digital. It kind of does the same thing. It's like it's a multi-band compressor basically. I don't usually use a lot of multi-band compression. Occasionally, very occasionally, if I want to get a specific sound. So like multi-band is when you can compress different frequency ranges. So you can compress the low bands, mid bands or high bands in different amounts. Because sometimes, you know, a compressor like that, you can only just compress the whole thing as a whole. You can't choose what frequencies get affected. So there might be like a really loud hi-hat that's throwing your low end because it's engaging the compressor and it might not sound very good. So you can use a multiband instead. But yeah, I don't really use them that often. I think there was another new plugin that's slightly different, slightly changed. Is it Imager? Yeah, this is new. I've never seen this before. Oh wow. Oh, this is cool. So it shows you the stereo image of each frequency band. So there's your frequencies up here. So let me just solo this. That's cool. So you can make them wider as well. That's cool. So you can increase and decrease the width. So if you listen to the, let me just loop a bit. So what I'd sometimes like to do is to make the low end mono. So you can do that on this. That's cool. So if your bass drum kind of end of the band is getting a little bit unruly and you want to center it up a little bit, you can use this to just bring it more to the center. And if you want maybe a fatter sounding like snare or some cymbals, just shove the width up on the high end. Off, back on. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I've got a plugin like this that I've actually bought that I haven't used in a long time. This one does a similar thing. This is by Waves. Actually, it's been so long that they've changed the look of it. It looks different. Or maybe it's just been so long. I have too many plugins. This is a problem I have. I think there's also a, if I can find it, there's also an imager, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, Supervision. Is that right? Yeah. Not an imager, a VU meter. Right, cool. So you can put this on your master bus and see what all your levels are at. That's pretty cool. And you've got all these different, so there's a VU. Oh, that's cool. And you can make it smaller. So you could have that set up, up here, and just keep an eye on your VU. Level, histogram, measurement, loudness. God, it does everything. Phase as well. Balance. That's impressive. Time, what does that do? Ah, okay. Just literally time. How long's the song? 5-minute long song. That's a long song. Cool. I think that's everything that's new to me anyway. Yeah, there's a couple of cool tools in there. If anyone's thinking of getting Cubase, I highly recommend it. I've been using it since 2011. I think the first version I got was Cubase 6, so I think that was about 2011, 12. And I got a free version of it with an interface I bought, and I've just upgraded it through the years, and it's changed a lot. It's gotten a lot smoother, better. And it used to crash a little bit. Like it would crash every couple of weeks. You would be in the middle of a session, it would crash. And I haven't had a Cubase crash now for years. It's so stable now, touch wood. But it's a problem that people have with Pro Tools, or Crash Tools as people call it. It just crashes all the time. I've heard Logic is exceptionally good, but I don't have a Mac. So yeah, if you've got a PC, I recommend Cubase. If you want to maybe step up from something like Audacity, or I don't know, if you're on GarageBand or something. Yeah, if you're on Mac, I would say Logic or Cubase, and if you're on PC and you want to up your game a little bit, get Cubase. Cubase do different packages, so they do Elements and Artist, which is like cheaper versions, and you get kind of less functionality, but it's still really good. I've always liked it, and I'm very used to it now. I like all the different features, and it also has a thing called Control Room, which is this bar on the right here. So that's my headphone sends, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and then it's all my monitors. So I've got 2 sets of monitors in the studio, and it all links up here. Nice and handy, so I can control my control room. And if I want to hear the headphones, I can just click them there, and I can hear them here in the control room. So if the drummer's on C1 and I want to know what his headphones are doing, I just click C1. Mix is just the main one. And then there's my AB. So A is my Adam A5X studio monitors, and the B is my cheapy M Audio ones. And then I can change mono and stereo and talk back. Yeah, it's just really handy. You can split the workspace up, so I can get rid of all these and just have that. I can have a bottom window as well with a mix console. So you can arrange all these windows however you want, totally customize it. And then save it as a workspace so that it never changes. And of course I use a Raven, so I need the mix console. Sometimes I use the internal console. Yeah, and it all lines up well. It usually lines up. There you go. So these faders underneath are supposed to line up with the grey faders, so that I can just use my finger to move them up and down. But yeah, Cubase works really well for me. Would highly recommend if anyone's looking to get into it. And if anyone has Cubase and has any Cubase related questions, send me a message or leave a comment in the video, and I'll try my best to help you out. I know quite a lot about it, but I don't know everything about it. I don't think anyone knows everything about it. But if you're having any technical issues with it, feel free to let me know. Happy to help. If anyone needs any advice on getting their DAW set up or programming their MIDI instruments or their USB interface or installing programs, it can be a bit overwhelming sometimes. If you're struggling with anything, just give me a shout and I'd be happy to help. So yeah, that's all I wanted to really do in this video. Just a little introduction to Cubase 12 and see what's new and what's new to me since the last time I upgraded. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel and clicking the notification bell if you want to get more content like this. So that was it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.